Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Aissa McGuirl. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the connected core and pelvic floor in life and in fitness. Why should you even care about the core and pelvic floor? Do you have leakage of any type, even if it's just a little bit? Do you have to go to the bathroom all the time, like every hour or multiple times at night? Do you have heaviness in your pelvic region, back pain or pain all over, pain with intimacy? You can't orgasm, you struggle to get pregnant, you have horrible periods or PMS symptoms, a bloated, pooched belly, flared ribs or a wide rib cage, a flat booty, or you just generally don't feel well in your body. Did you know that all of these are potential signs of pelvic floor dysfunction or signs that your pelvic floor and deep core might just need a little bit of help? Did you also know that taking care of your pelvic floor and deep core with a holistic fitness focus can help you to have reduced leakage and have less trips to the bathroom, have less pain and discomfort all over your body, allow for pleasurable sex, improve your chances of fertility, help you have a slimmer midsection and a better posture, a rounder, plumper booty, and just better overall physique and health? We're going to discuss how you can do this to address all these different areas so that you can have confidence in your body and life. Here is what we're going to go over today. 1. What the pelvic floor is and how to use it. 2. What causes pelvic floor dysfunction. 3. How to actually fix it. You'll want to watch all the way to the end to know how to. The information that you get before the how to is so vital so that you fully understand how to best help yourself. But first, let's bust some myths. Myth number 1. If you have pelvic floor issues, just do Kegels. No, most of the time people do them so wrong. As a pelvic floor physical therapist, I've literally felt Kegels that were people just doing butt squeezes. So they were doing pelvic floor contractions just using their butt. We're going to discuss how to do a Kegel and talk about all the things that they don't tell you about doing Kegels. You can only have pelvic floor issues if you've had kids. Though it is more common to have pelvic floor issues after having kids, you can absolutely have pelvic floor issues whether or not you've had kids. Some of us may have had pelvic floor issues to a degree before even having our kids. Prior to kids, you may have had moderate to severe PMS symptoms, pain with sex, a bloated or a pooch belly, or a flat booty, all signs that your pelvic floor might just need a little bit of help. Myth number 3, it's normal to have a period that takes you out for a few days. Moderate to severe PMS symptoms are not normal, and this is a sign that something in your body is off. You should not be in severe pain. You should not be laid out all day. You should be not going through pad after pad in pain. You should not be snapping at everyone the week leading up to your period, or have to take a whole week off from the gym, despite you being extremely motivated to reach your goals. Myth number 4, if sex hurts, just have a glass of wine. Sex should not hurt. It should be pleasurable. We need to address why it hurts in the first place. Myth number 5, it's normal to leak after you've had kids. It is extremely common to leak after you have kids, and if this is you, you are absolutely not the only one. But this is not normal, and there's something that you could do about it. Do you remember the activities that you used to do before you leaked? This does not have to keep disrupting your life. You can go back to living leak-free. Myth number 6, you can't exercise with pelvic floor issues. Exercise is going to be extremely important in resolving your pelvic floor issues, but how you exercise is going to be even more important. It's not just doing Kegels and doing more core work. There is so much more to it, and all of that is what we're going to get into today. And last but not least, surgery is your only option with pelvic floor issues. No, my goal is to help everyone avoid surgery because most of the time there is a better option, which is what we're going to discuss here today. 1. What is the pelvic floor and how to use it? Your pelvic floor is a sling of multiple layers of muscles that rest at the base of your pelvis. It is responsible for bowel, holding poop in, letting it go, bladder, holding pee in, letting it go, sexual, blood flow to all of your sexual organs and allows you to orgasm. It holds up your organs, your bladder, your uterus, your digestive contents, all sit on top of your pelvic floor. And movement. This is such an important part. Our pelvic floor is an extremely important part of our foundation of how we move as humans. How does it work? It works just like all other muscles in your body. But because of its additional functions, sometimes a little TLC is important. It works just like your bicep by contracting and shortening and lengthening and relaxing. We need it to contract to be able to move to do all of our daily tasks, lift stuff, and our pelvic floor needs to be able to contract to orgasm. We need it to lengthen and relax to get into different positions, to move, to be able to heal and allow for insertion. Your pelvic floor needs to be able to contract and shorten, and it needs to be able to lengthen and relax to be able to function properly. Proper function of our pelvic floor is what allows us to be able to do all the things that we need to do without pain, discomfort, and leakage, and go even beyond that. The pelvic floor contraction or the Kegel. To feel your pelvic floor contract, you're going to feel a uniform lift of your pelvic floor in the front and in the back. This uniform lift in the front and the back is a Kegel. I want you to picture this as a slurping of a milkshake through a straw with your vagina. Again, pelvic floor contraction or Kegel. Your pelvic floor needs to be able to contract, but it also needs to be able to lengthen and relax. We do not want a contracting pelvic floor all the time. Muscles that are constantly contracting or constantly tight, they don't function well and they hurt. Now, to relax your pelvic floor, you're going to feel a lengthening or letting go in this area. I want you to picture this as a letting go or relaxing into the hammock. Let's try this one more time. I want you to contract and lift. Now lengthen and relax. Did you have a hard time feeling it? If you did, I expect that. But here's why. Your pelvic floor works with other muscles in your body. You don't just contract your pelvic floor by itself. It's working with other muscles at the same time. This is typically referred to as this deep core or your core canister. This deep core or your core canister is your pelvic floor muscles in the bottom, your transverse abs, which is your deepest layer of ab muscles in the front, your diaphragm, which is your primary breathing muscle on top, and your multifidi, these little muscles deep within your back. These core canister muscles work together with your pelvic floor. This is why just doing Kegels, it probably doesn't help, because your pelvic floor needs to be able to relax, and these core canister muscles need to be able to work with your pelvic floor. What causes pelvic floor dysfunction? These core canister muscles or your deep core control what is called your internal pressure. This internal pressure is the pressure within our belly and chest from the air that we breathe and our internal organs. Normally, pressure should be evenly distributed between our belly and chest as we breathe and move. Proper balance of this pressure is what supports our position of our organs and our movement. But when we lose proper function of these deep core muscles, which we're going to go over why in a second, pressure is going to go to its most vulnerable areas. Due to gravity, lots of time the most vulnerable areas are pelvic floor and belly, leading to the symptoms that we experience. Pooched belly, because our organs are literally pressing into our abdominal wall. Pressure or prolapse, because our organs are literally pressing onto our pelvic floor. Leakage or incontinence, because our organs are pressing onto our pelvic floor and the muscles can't do the job that they're supposed to, which is to hold the urine in. And pain, because muscles that constantly have excess pressure on it are fighting a never-ending battle and losing. These muscles are taking a constant beating. So even though I'm talking about the pelvic floor, I'm not just talking about the pelvic floor. I'm talking about this deepest layer, your pelvic floor, your deep abs, your diaphragm, and your deep back. Proper use of these deep core muscles is what allows for better pressure distribution, better function, and reduced symptoms. Your pelvic floor is only a piece of this that may be taking a beating due to excess pressure on it. What disrupts this pressure? Can you think about it? I'm sure a few of you might have a guess. Pregnancy for one. During pregnancy, there's going to be a natural lengthening of our ab wall and your pelvic floor to accommodate your growing baby. Just because of the nature of pregnancy, these muscles are going to be a little bit more vulnerable and weaker. Though this is absolutely natural, you're supposed to have that lengthening of your ab wall and pelvic floor. You can be proactive about it. You do not need to wait to experience issues, which is what most of us do. You can actually help your body by learning better to connect with these deep core muscles. This will help with the health of you and your baby, help you have a pain-free pregnancy, a better birthing experience, and help you return to feeling like yourself quicker after baby. Postpartum, whether you've had a belly birth or a vaginal birth, either way you've carried a baby for nearly 9 months. Either way you've had that natural lengthening of your ab wall and natural lengthening of your pelvic floor. You've experienced a trauma from pushing or trauma from the actual birthing process. And if you had a C-section, that was a major abdominal surgery where they just went through 7 layers of tissue. These muscles were overstretched and suffered from the birthing trauma. And as a result, they don't work like they used to. These vulnerable muscles need rehab and connection. They don't just snap back, especially after baby 2, 3, 4. And when we don't, this is why we have that persistent gap or DRA, leakage, or despite your efforts, you can't get rid of your belly. We need to connect with this deep core. You can have pelvic floor issues, but you might notice your neck is a little stiff, your back hurts a little bit, and your hips are constantly tight. That's no coincidence. Your pelvic floor can bear the burden with tightness and tension in our body that squeezes us and contributes to more pressure downward. Tightness in our back, our neck, our shoulders, our hips all squeeze us and put more pressure downward onto our pelvic floor and belly. Years later, as we're moving around throughout the day, doing our thousands of mom tasks, or we're in the gym striving to reach our body goals, if we didn't rehab or we didn't rehab properly, you never relearned how to use these deep core muscles appropriately. And most of the time, despite what your doctors told you, these muscles just don't return back to normal. Your body can start to compensate with other muscles. This means we overuse other muscles in substitution for these deeper muscles, leading to more tension to build up. More tension builds up in our neck, our back, our thighs, our shoulders, causing more pressure on us internally, leading to potential symptoms. But I haven't had any kids. We are all so different. Different frames, genetics, lifestyle, interest levels of stress and diet. All of these factors can disrupt our internal pressure and cause us to experience symptoms. Some of us were taught or learned poor habits growing up. Shoulders down and back, suck in your stomach, these booty poses, slumping, staring at your phone all day. All this causes more tension and pressure in our body. Bloat or constipation from a poor diet, more pressure in your system. Sitting from work or school all day, never getting a chance to get up, more stiffness in your body, more tension, more pressure. Constantly on the go, and your body never gets a chance to relax, more tension, more pressure. Some of us were never really taught proper form on exercising or how to exercise properly, so we overuse our more dominant muscles, leading to more tension, more pressure in our body. Those of you that are always feel like you're building up your quads and your hammies but never really getting your glutes to grow, this is probably why. And this constant pressure in our system puts more pressure on our pelvic floor and belly, causing them to be weaker, more vulnerable. But also, it can cause it to be tighter in some areas, causing pelvic floor symptoms before even having kids. Do you ever notice that you have to go to the bathroom more on the days that you're stressed out? The days that you're working on a computer all day, you leak more, or you have to go to the bathroom more. You leak a little bit when you run or jump after having your heavy lift days, or you find yourself constantly running to the bathroom. Your butthole hurts during your period, or your belly feels like it's going to explode. Do any of these sound like you? And if you're trying to conceive, constant pressure on this area, it's going to limit blood flow. It's going to limit nerve input and the overall function of our reproductive organs that rest in this area, making it more difficult for us to conceive. And this is what makes the PMS symptoms worse because you have so much pressure on this area. But again, none of this stuff is normal, and there's so much you can do about it. Do I need surgery? Surgery can be helpful sometimes, but often misses the root of the issue, which can be why symptoms persist after surgery, or you still experience symptoms in other areas. I've seen so many women have surgery from different areas, come to me after surgery, still suffering with the same symptoms. And they've been dealing with this one symptom for such a long time. They've neglected all these other little fires going on in their body. Our bodies need connection with this deep core to help our pelvic floor symptoms and address everywhere else in our body at the same time. When we have deep core dysfunction, we'll see issues happening in 3 different areas. This is why it can show up as all these different symptoms: your rib cage, your belly, and your limbs. At the rib cage, we lose the ability to fully expand our lungs with air, which can limit our rib cage mobility. This will also limit blood flow and airflow, which will cause you to take short, shallow breaths, which will limit the ability for us to use oxygen, which is needed for every system in our body. This also puts us in fight or flight mode, limiting for the ability for our bodies to heal. At the abdomen, we have this constant pressure downward, causing our spine to compress. Your spine becomes stiffer and more rigid. When our spine and rib cage can't move well, our bodies are more locked up, limiting our ability to rotate. And this rotation helps with the pumping of all of our internal organs. At your limbs, when our rib cage and spine are constantly locked up, our bodies remember it as a harder time getting out of this position. Now, when we move our arm or our leg, they move, but they don't move well because our foundation is off. For example, I want you to try to go into this really slumped posture. This posture where your back is excessively rounded, your upper back is excessively rounded, your lower back is excessively arched. And I want you to try to lift your arm over your head. How far above your head does it actually go? Does it feel comfortable? Probably feels a little stiff. This is an exaggeration of what happens when we lose proper function of our deep core and these proper mechanics. Our bodies will try to survive. We will do everything that we need to, but this is not how our bodies were designed to move. So it hurts, or we leak, or we just don't feel well in so many different ways. Now, how to fix it. This is the reason that you're here. You are not too far gone. The key to relieving your pelvic floor symptoms and so many other issues is connecting with our deep core by connecting with our breath. All right, breathing. We breathe, inhale, breathing in, exhale, breathing out. When we breathe in, we're taking a breath in using our diaphragm. Our diaphragm is our primary breathing muscle that rests underneath our rib cage. When we breathe in, we're breathing in through our nose, and we're filling our lungs and our rib cage up with air. As this is happening, our abdominal contents or our organs are moving downward in our abdominal cavity. As this is happening, our belly muscles are lengthening and our pelvic floor is lengthening. Remember, we said we need to be able to lengthen as well in the inhalation component. Now, on the exhale, as air is being expelled, your pelvic floor muscles lift and contract. Your belly muscles contract inwards as your organs move up in your abdominal cavity as air is expelled. As we're exhaling, we're getting that pelvic floor contraction or a Kegel, and we're getting that deep core or that deep ab engagement at the same time. Let's have you try it. We're going to take a breath in. I want you to feel your chest expand, size of your rib cage expand, your belly, your back, and your pelvic floor expand. This is typically referred to as this 360 expansion because everything is getting bigger on this inhalation. Now, as you exhale, you're going to feel a lift of your pelvic floor, compression of your lower belly, middle belly, rib cage. Picture this as a zipping up type motion as you slowly, fully exhale. Try this one more time. Breath in through your nose. Chest expand, size of your rib cage expands, back, belly, pelvic floor. We get this 360 expansion. Now we're going to exhale. You're going to feel that lift of your pelvic floor, compression of your lower belly, middle belly, as you slowly, fully exhale while maintaining height in your spine. The inhalation, we're getting this 360 expansion. This exhale, you're getting this compression, getting this lift of your pelvic floor, this activation of those deep ab muscles at the same time. And right here, I'll show you an activity of how you can actually do this. Go ahead and lay on your back. I want you to feel your feet on the ground. So feel that base of your big toe, base of your little toe, and your heel. I want you to go ahead, put your hand on your chest. You could put this hand on your belly, or you could put it anywhere else so that it's free. What I want you to do is you're going to take a breath in through your nose, making sure that your neck is relaxed. So take a breath in. What you're going to feel is you're going to feel expansion through your chest. You're going to feel expansion through the sides of your rib cage, expansion into the ground in your back, expansion in your belly, and lengthening into your pelvic floor. So you're feeling this expansion or lengthening in all these different areas. Your hand is on your chest to be able to feel that lengthening through your chest. And if you want, you could put your hand on your belly to be able to feel that lengthening through your belly as well. So feel those feet. You're going to take a full breath in through your nose, keeping your mouth closed, neck relaxed. Everything expands and gets bigger. This is called that 360 expansion because everywhere is expanding. Then as you exhale, again, feel those foot contacts. You're going to feel a lift of your pelvic floor, compression of your lower belly, middle belly, rib cage. Picture this as a zipping up type motion as you slowly, fully exhale while maintaining height in your spine. So full breath in through your nose. Again, breathe in. Breathe in, we feel this 360 expansion through our chest, sides of our rib cage, back, belly, pelvic floor. Exhale, lift of your pelvic floor, compression of your lower belly, middle belly, rib cage. Picture this as a zipping up type motion as you slowly, fully exhale while maintaining height in your spine. Though this breathing strategy will slightly differ depending on the activity that we're doing and our goals that we have, this is the biggest part of our foundation of how we move as humans. When we connect with our breath, which is connecting with our deep core, it allows our wonderful bodies to function as they are supposed to. Reasons why you may have had a difficult time with this breath or using your deep core. I know a lot of us, when trying this breathing, you had a hard time. And you are not the only one. Sometimes we need to be in different positions. Sometimes laying on your back, laying on your sides, or even on your hands and knees are often easier. And we're all a little bit different. Based off of our little differences, we might need to be in a different position. Sometimes we need to address our mobility restrictions in our neck, our back, our shoulders, our hips. They can all be a problem in itself, but it can also disrupt how these deep core muscles work. Applying this breathing strategy to mobility work, emphasizing this inhalation or this lengthening, is often very helpful in getting these muscles to work a little bit better. Sometimes we need to boost. Tension from these compensations can make it difficult for these muscles to let go. even with mobility work applying this breathing strategy. Soft tissue work, dry needling, foam rolling, massage, internal work can often be very helpful and give you a bigger boost. Because we are all so different, I would suggest working with a professional to know which area you should specifically be working on or have worked on. This can be particularly important for moms, those of us that are under a lot of stress, moms, have been dealing with this issue for a while, or you have multiple areas in your body that have stuff like this going on. And the last reason why you didn't feel it is these core canister muscles, they do not work in isolation. We don't just breathe all day, we move. These core canister muscles work with muscles in your foot, your legs, your hips, your back, your head, your ribcage, your shoulders, all the way up to your head. This is what helps you to control your internal pressure in relation to how you move around throughout the day. The position of your foot, the position of your knees and ankles, the position of your shoulder blades and your ribcage, and the position of your head. They all work together to help you to manage this pressure, move, do what you have to do throughout your day, in life and in the gym. To have the best outcome, we need to have everything on board. This is why in dealing with pelvic floor issues, or any issues for that matter, we need a total body approach because it is all connected. This is especially important for those of us that are active in life, active in dealing with little ones, or active in the gym. When we learn this total body deep core control and we apply to all different types of movement, this is what allows us to be symptom-free. But what about beyond symptom-free? What about symptom-free and confidence in your appearance and confident in your entire body? That is what you get when you take this foundation and you apply it to strength training. All of these exercises right here and more, when done properly, train your deep core, but they also train your thighs, your butt, your arms, all at the same time. This is what trains your deep core to hold everything in, no matter what you're doing. This is what trains all these other muscles to work with your pelvic floor to get them stronger, then move how they're supposed to be able to be pain-free in various places in your body. This is what helps you to build muscle mass in the places that you're trying to target, like your butt, and not build a butt in your neck and in your back. This is what helps you to lose body fat and keep it off due to building muscle mass, increasing your basal metabolic rate, burning calories more efficiently, and not yo-yo dieting and starving yourself to lose a few pounds and gain it right back. This is what completely transforms your body and health due to the countless benefits of having more muscle mass and better quality movement. Other factors that are essential for you to consider. Bowel and bladder techniques should be relaxing. Pushing and straining can cause you to have excess tension in your pelvic floor and can contribute to your symptoms. For number one, relax and stop hovering when you pee. Sometimes try a few relaxing breaths and focusing on this inhalation. That could be extremely helpful. For number two, use a squatty potty or stool to elevate your legs to relax your pelvic floor and use a gentle exhale to push. This will literally change your life. So if you have not tried this before, go to Five Below, get a little stool, lift your legs up. This will literally change your life. Make sure you're hydrated. You should be drinking a little more than half your body weight in ounces of water per day. If you sweat a lot or you're in a hot environment, sometimes you might need a little bit more electrolytes as well. This is sodium, potassium, and magnesium. So sometimes just supplementing under your doctor's recommendation can be very helpful. Nutrition. Nutrition is such a huge topic when it comes to pelvic floor issues or any issues for that matter, because this is literally what we're made up of. We are literally made up of our food, and this is what fuels us. We need both good quality and quantity nutrition to be able to support our body. We want to make sure that we're not overeating, but at the same time, we also want to make sure that we're not undereating because this could be detrimental as well. We want to prioritize protein from whole food sources, lots of fruits, veggies, and really avoid limiting these processed or sugary foods and stopping with these fad diets because they are not doing much for us. This becomes an even bigger topic in dealing with hormonal issues. There are so many dietary changes that can influence your hormones, which will impact any condition that you're dealing with. Sleep. Most of us are not getting enough good quality and good quantity sleep. As women, we need more sleep. We should aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Give yourself enough time to sleep. Relax before bed. Limit screen time before bed. Sleep in a cool, dark, quiet room. And limit your caffeine, especially caffeine after noon. Stress. Most of us are overstressed just because of the world that we live in. But when starting to take care of ourselves, managing stress and reducing stress is going to be vital. We can manage stress by journaling, taking walks, meditating, yoga, breathing activities. And a lot of us significantly need to reduce the amount of stress that we're under. Our bodies are not meant to be in this go, go, go state all the time. And this is the reality for most of us. And when this happens, our bodies never fully get a chance to heal and recover. And our muscles constantly hold tension. Boundaries are essential in dealing with any health issue because when we push it, push you to work, at home, in life, in the gym, or as a mom. All of this causes us to overextend ourselves. Our body never feels safe. It never gets a chance to heal. And we stay in this constant cycle. It's okay to say no, not now, maybe later. Rather, we need to do this for ourselves because if our cup is always empty, which a lot of the times for a lot of us, it is always empty, how do we fill up everybody else's cup? In summary, our pelvic floor is just a part of our deep core, but can be where we experience the symptoms. Proper function of our deep core is what allows us to manage our internal pressure and reduce our symptoms. We regain proper function of our deep core by connecting with our breath. This breath will differ slightly depending on the activity that we're doing and our goals. This breath can be applied to core exercises, mobility exercises, how we move in general, and in the gym. We also need to address those additional factors, our bowel and bladder habits, our hydration, nutrition, sleep, stress, because they all have a major influence. Over time, with consistency, you can completely transform your body and health, not only to eliminate the symptoms, but look, feel, and function at your best. I want you to think for a second. Do you remember what good or normal feels like? Do you know what happens when you just keep ignoring these symptoms? Do you know what you would do if you did not leak anymore? What would you do if your body didn't hold you back, but you actually truly loved your body and all that it could do? What you can start off with today. Understand this foundation and breathing strategy and apply to core exercises and mobility work. We want this 360 expansion when we breathe in and this slow exhale to feel that engagement of our pelvic floor and deep abs when we breathe out. Incorporate core mobility work while connected to your breath. I'll show you a few of some of my favorites in a second. Incorporate strength training with these breathing strategies. In general, start with this deep core engagement, that full exhale. Maintain some degree of this ab tension and pelvic floor engagement. Inhale on the lowering component, exhale as you come out of it. If you are already strength training, address your form, manage your load, and your programming. And when in doubt, ask for help. Be careful who you ask for because anybody could be a trainer. Heavy and intense is great to build muscle, but if it's too heavy or too intense all the time, your form will break down, you'll overtax your body, causing you to not see the results that you want. To see results and not hurt yourself, you need something structured. Not do something random every time that you go to the gym or a back-breaking workout every time that you go to the gym. It's often so much simpler than that, and you see so much better results when you have something structured. These are some of the exercises that I have in my program. These exercises on the left are going to be more core focused, and these ones on the right are going to be a little bit more mobility focused. You might need more core strength exercises, you might need more mobility focused exercise, or you might need somewhere in between, which is what most of us likely need, somewhere in between. These exercises might be perfect for you, but you might also need something that's a little bit more challenging. At the same time, you might need something that's a little bit more aggressive depending on your level. We are all so different. Based off of our frame, our goals, our past training, our past injuries, we may need something a little bit different. And that's what I do in all of my programs. But if you're looking to try to do something today, these are great exercises. And these are things that I often recommend in just dealing with a lot of my clients for the first session. If you're trying to take control of your body without the guesswork and do this a lot quicker due to experiencing so many hiccups, aches, pains, and maybe you have questions along the way, this is exactly why I've created my holistic fitness coaching programs. In any of my group holistic fitness coaching programs, you're going to have the option to join any of my one-of-a-kind programs designed for your particular situation. You're going to have everything laid out for you on an app, so you know exactly what to do, and you have my support all along the way. If you're looking for something more individualized, my one-on-one programs are highly customized plans that are specifically made for you, that come with more support, accountability, potentially hands-on treatment. You'll be able to get your goals quicker just due to addressing your individual differences, and results are guaranteed. Go to connectthebodydance.com to get started. Connect with your body today so that you can have reduced leakage and less trips to the bathroom. Better movement puts less pressure on your bladder, and your muscles are able to hold in urine when they're supposed to and let it go when it's supposed to. Reduce pressure and prolapse. Better movement allows your organs to have room to move and allows your muscles to be able to hold your organs where they're supposed to be. reduce pain. Bodies that move better and have better control don't hurt. This is not just your pelvic floor, but your back, your neck, your shoulders, your hips. That's because this is the foundation, and applying this to strength training addresses everything, because everything is connected. Better sex. Muscles that have better movement relax so sex is not painful, and contract for better orgasms. Improve fertility. When you move better, your reproductive organs have better pressure distribution, better nerve input, better blood flow, and less waste floating around, so your body can do what it's supposed to do. Smaller midsection and a better posture. A strong deep core acts as a natural corset and holds everything in. Your organs rest inside of your body rather than pooching forward. Larger booties. Your hips actually are able to go through their full range of motion, work better throughout your day-to-day, and when you choose glute exercises in your gym, you're now able to maximize your glute growth, not your back growth. Improve physique. Strength training builds more muscle mass, increases your basal metabolic rate so that you burn more calories at rest than you would with less muscle mass. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you learned something about your body, whether you have pelvic floor dysfunction, other aches and pains, or other health issues that are stopping you from reaching your goals. They don't have to, because our bodies are truly amazing if you give it what it needs. Connection, movement, and strength. Wherever you are, I want you to know that you are far from alone. These are things that we have a harder time talking about, or we might just feel stuck. But there is a solution if you have the right plan, you put in the effort, and you follow through. Thanks for listening, guys, and hopefully talk to you guys soon.